Not everyone is happy with how they make a living. And I've had my fair share of unhappy jobs myself, so I know exactly how you feel. But when Forbes magazine recently released the unhappiest jobs in America, I gotta tell you, I was a little shocked at some of the occupations on the list. Everything from sales engineer to nurse to security guard. So these are some of the jobs that they posted in Forbes magazines as the unhappiest job. Security officer, registered nurse, teacher, sales engineer, product manager, program manager, marketing manager. Mostly, if you're a manager, you probably, you don't like your job because a lot of people on the job don't like you. Today, I want to find out why some professions are said to be the unhappiest. So, I got 3 of America's unhappiest professionals here today. Please welcome Erica, Justin, and Svetlana. Hi, Erica. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. There you go. Erica, you were a teacher.
Yes.
Teacher was number 3 on the list.
Okay.
So, what was tough about it in the classroom?
Well, first of all, I want to say I love children. Love them to death. Enjoy that. But I feel teachers are some of the most underpaid people in the world, and we have that mind that we're shaping and molding, teaching it all these wonderful things. And I just got to a point as the time went on with different transitions of jobs, I was becoming just more unhappy and I wasn't feeling appreciated. I'm just basically babysitting this child, and that's not what I'm there to do. I'm there to teach and help make this person a better person.
So you left teaching, and now you've become a flight attendant.
Yes.
That's on the list.
I'm really not surprised. It should have been number, 11.
Okay, so are you happy as a flight attendant?
Some days and other days, no. I mean, I go through it's hard some days.
Tried to get away from them kids, and now they got a seat.
I got grown-up kids now.
Yeah.
I got grown-up kids, exactly. And I have to tell you,
they got a boarding pass now.
And can I just tell you how it actually really started? I saw an ad in the paper. That's what I saw. And I was like, you know what, just for the heck of it, let me try this. I mean, I realize, as you see, I'm a big girl, but my philosophy is big is beautiful, you know.
Yes, it is.
And what the skinny girl can do, the big girl can do, too. Because basically, I can drag you off that plane quicker probably than the skinny girl. You know, I'm going to get you off as you need to be off. You know, so we got to get our props to the big girl.
I want to be a flight attendant. In case I got to snatch somebody up out that seat, I'm going to use this weight. And I'm going to make it happen. Come on, about the seat.
That's right. That's right. You got it. That's right.
Okay, so I got that. Okay, so you're unhappy. It's tough.
We're just disrespected. I'm talked to like I'm crazy. There are many days I have to go back in that galley and I have to be like, Lord Jesus, have mercy, bridle my tongue. Don't let me go up there and choke that person out. I have to. Lord Jesus, say to me all the
ask
time.
the Lord first to bridle your tongue, then you mention going to choke them out.
I don't want to choke them out.
Kind of a double-edged prayer right there. Yeah, make it to heaven, choking people out. All right, you sit tight. No final look. Justin, how you doing today? Doing great. Good. Justin, you wanted to be a cop, but you had a car accident and you weren't able to be there. So now you're a security guard.
That's correct.
Yeah. How's that going?
It's not as great as being a cop. You know, I get called names. I get called rent-a-cop. We get called bullies. You know, people always say stuff to us. The general consensus with the population is that, we're there to ruin their time, prevent them from having a great experience. And
when you say ruin their time, what type of security guard are you?
I do, like, festivals. I do sporting events, concerts.
Oh.
So
you got the yellow jacket on.
Yeah, we have,
it's yellow. Whoa. I've been in venues for 27 years. I know who watches me. You have on yellow with big security word on the back.
Well, I don't know what it says on the back, but you'll know who we are when you go to events.
Thanks for coming, Justin. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Your name is
Svetlana.
Svetlana?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. What do you do?
I'm a nurse. I work in a trauma surgical intensive care unit, so it's already a high-stress job as it is.
Are the patients tough?
A lot of times we get disrespected. We get treated as if we're maids, waitresses. We've been verbally abused, I would say, on a daily to weekly basis. Punched, kicked, spit at, sworn at.
All right, I'll tell you, Will. See, I could never be a nurse because I'm really not that kind of a person. See, if you cussing and spitting on me and you laying there and you're in a trauma situation, I got news for you. How about we unplug this puppy for 10 seconds? Just 10 seconds, that's all. I don't mean just 10 seconds. I said just, let's see how you deal with it, how you feeling. How you feeling now? There you go, there you go. Now cuss me again, here. Cuss. All right, hey, listen, we got to try to fix things to make it work a little bit easier for our guests. So I've invited Reinvention coach Lisa Lockwood to help us out. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you.
Now, Lisa, you're a reinvention coach for life. Exactly what is that?
What I do is I help people who are unhappy in their careers, people who are transitioning. They're not 100% sure what they want to do. They know what they absolutely don't like to do, and I help them with that. I went from a heavy equipment operator in Desert Storm to an undercover police officer, posed as a stripper. I know the stresses. I know everything that you're going through, and I want to help you cope.
So do you think that these three people here could find happiness in their work?
I absolutely do, and everybody watching today as well. I'm going to share some strategies that I think you're going to be excited about.
Okay, coming up, we'll test out some unique coping strategies that will help anyone who is unhappy at work. We'll be right back. Coming up next.
I recommend you do this in the ladies' room. Pretend you're a superhero.
When you get in that bathroom on the plane, I can assure you can't do nothing but this. And later, science behind the things that catch a man's eye. The hourglass figure does not mean it has to be this, this, and this. It can be this, and this. Bam, shot, pow. Welcome back, everybody. I'm here with Reinvention coach Lisa Lockwood, and we've been talking about the unhappiest jobs in America. Now, Erica, Justin, and Svetlana are all unhappy at work, and it seems like they have one thing in common. The unhappiness is stemming from the people they're providing a service to. Now, it's not economically realistic for people to quit their jobs right now because there aren't a lot of jobs out there. So, if you're looking to make a career change, where do you start?
That's a super question. And what people need to acknowledge is that 2/3 of Americans are unhappy in their jobs. 2/3, it's a huge number. And what I encourage people to do is not just leave their job on a whim, it's discovering what they need to do in the process so they get their feet wet. And what I also do is I offer coping strategies.
So how can people cope at work when they're unhappy?
First thing is developing thick skin. There's going to be all kinds of scenarios that are out of your control. So what I used to do is show up happy at work. Show up just in a complete optimistic disposition, and believe me, it takes the wind right out of people's sails. The next thing is imagine you're financially free. Right now, if you're at home thinking, what do I want to do with my life? If you had all the money in the world, what would you be excited about breaking out of bed every day, getting excited that I get to do this? And the final one is just mindset strategies. In your current position, what can you do to make your job fun, exciting? Just be creative.
Okay, so like what? I mean, give me an
Yes.
example of something they can do to cope with on their job.
I offer exercises. And this exercise is actually called a butt clench. And
It's
what?
called a butt clench.
Butt clench, yes. As a matter of fact, I'm doing it right now.
What does butt clenching do?
Okay, so 2 benefits. You're focusing on your butt, you're squeezing it, and squeezing it, what that does is it allows you to breathe in. So what I also recommend is to take breaths with it. So count in your mind, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. Can we do this together?
I'm doing it now.
So when you're in front of people, they're going to get distracted, so you really need to focus on that clinch and holding, and it helps your breathing, but guess what else? It also helps firm your glutes.
Okay, okay, give us another exercise.
So another one would be pressure points, acupressure. So what you do is you take your hand and you press right between your index finger and your thumb. And you're going to press until you feel just a little bit of pain.
Oh, you press yourself?
You press yourself.
Oh, I thought you... I said we ain't got no more peanuts on this plane. You get one bag of peanuts and that's it. So, okay.
So what does this do? You're probably wondering. So what it's a reliever for headaches, but it also stimulates your circulatory system, and it just takes away the edge.
Okay.
The first two that I shared with you are for when you're in a scenario where you can't get away and escape in order to vent.
Okay.
So this is when you're on your job. I recommend you do this in a parking lot, go into a storage closet, go into the ladies' room, lock the door, and it's called a power move. And basically what I want you to do is pretend you're a superhero. So in your mind, you're thinking superhero. You're getting ready to combat something. And I'm going to show you mine to give you an example. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So what I do is I rev myself up. And basically, regroup and go back to work. That's it.
You got bathroom? Well,
Laboratory, yes.
well, you get in that bathroom on the plane, I can assure you can't do nothing but this. Well, once you get on that airplane, you're going to have to go... You're going to do mostly butt clenching. Okay, this is what I want to see. I want to see everybody's power move. You go into the restroom, show me what you're going to do to get yourself together. So, look, folks, our guests could really use some one-on-one guidance. So let's start with Erica, who's going from one unhappy job to another. What do you really
Yeah,
think?
so Erica, I really get that you love children, and that's kind of your core of what your calling is. And I think you also like travel, too.
Yes.
So combining those two together would be somebody, your own business, Erica's private tutoring on the road. And another thing that I think would be amazing with your travel as well, teaching children English as a second language.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let's go with Justin.
So Justin, one of the things that I thought would be amazing, that would give you a little bit of the police experience as well, is a 911 dispatcher. If you did decide that you wanted to stay in security, I would just recommend doing something that's a little bit higher up in the echelon, maybe on a cruise ship.
Cruise ship, I like that idea.
That's definitely something I would definitely look into. It sounds good.
So, oh, Lord.
And Svetlana. Svetlana. In order to get away from the patient aftercare of all the stress that you have to deal with kind of around the scenes, I was thinking what would be really cool for you is either to be an EMT, first responder. You're not dealing with all of the family members and things like that. And another thing that I thought of, too, is Nurses Without Borders. You get to travel, and you also have that opportunity for working with people again and doing what your career is instead of going back into education to try and figure out something else.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh, really? I like that. That was pretty smart. I like that a lot. I think it was really great. Hey, listen, when it comes to your career, you can dream big, but it doesn't mean anything without a plan of action. You can't make a career change without first exploring all your options. So I've compiled a list of contacts and job opportunities for each of our guests today.
Yeah.
That's yours. That's yours, and that's yours, and that's what we did. So we got a long list of places you can contact and do exactly what Lisa said. I think that would be great. And Lisa Lockwood, thank you very much, okay?
Thank you. My pleasure.
And I want to thank all of you guys for sharing your stories, too. Very nice of you. Hey, we'll be right back. Don't go away. Going down here and work with some kids. Coming up next, I'm going to share with you the real reason men are so bossy when it comes to that grilling part. We can't run anything else in the house. We're the king of the grill. Get away, I'm doing all of it.
My husband, Hank,